What up, guys? This is going to look at a couple of the training sessions that I've done over this past week. You are currently looking at the Sheiko app, which is, of course, named after Boris Sheiko, of who wrote the programs. This is following the training cycle. And if we go in, you can see I am in prep cycle 1 of the advanced small load program. I wanted specifically to start out with something that had the lowest volume, which is very high volume still. Not as high as the medium load programs. You can see in week 1, in the way that the format of this works is that weekly, if I go into this, I don't really want to click on any of these because it affects like it'll want to restart the program if I navigate away from it and then back. But I think I can click on these gears over here. And you can see that day to day, it lists the number of lifts. So squat 22 lifts on day 1, and I think it's referring to reps. Like that's how many reps you do that day, and it goes up weekly. So week 1, there's 44. And when you go down to week 1, there's 44 lifts in the squat, 83 in the bench, 45 in deadlift. And each one of those goes up weekly until week 4, when it's not really a deload per se, but you can see that the number of lifts goes down quite a bit. It goes back down at approximately equal to what it was at week 1. Bench still remains a little heavier. Actually, bench goes up that week. So both squat and deadlift go back to either less than or equal to week 1, while bench continues to apparently press way on. So there's this ebb and flow in Sheiko programs of what goes on week to week, day to day, week to week, cycle to cycle, prep cycle, and most of the prep cycles that he does are either 4 or sometimes 5 weeks. So the medium load cycles start to stretch out a little bit beyond 4 weeks, and the competition cycle, which you can see that as he goes from week to week, the number of lifts goes up, but in the competition cycle, he actually pulls that way back to give you more rest, more recovery time, so that on competition day, you end up being able to perform at your maximum amount. So I think if I remember correctly, in the competition cycles, weeks 1, 2, and 3 are somewhat similar to what they were, to what you had been training before. They start to slowly go back, and then the weeks 4 and 5, weeks 4 goes back quite a bit, only doing like some kind of higher intensity, shorter range of motion work. And then the week leading up to the competition is very, very light at that point, which that's normal periodization that you would see. But specifically going to my personal dashboard, we go to week 1 here. You can see that these are in kilos, so it's 120 kilos, which is, I'm not sure what that is in pounds. It's I guess like 260 something times 2.2, 264. And so that's squat, bench, chest muscles. I've been doing pullovers for these, and you know, I don't know that much about them. Like, I've never done a lot of pullovers, but we'll see how it goes. Dips and good mornings. And this is putting in a lot of work on these things. So I really do feel like I'm starting to get quite a bit better in shape. Like I'm getting back to at least the normal grind of work that I was doing before. And I wanted to go over and kind of go to some of my videos. This is one of the deadlift solve blocks. So I think this is from day 3. I just did this yesterday. So, oh no, it's day 2. I'm sorry. Day 2, I just did this yesterday. Deficit deadlift. So I didn't get any filming of this, but so I did all of these sets off a deficit. So I was standing on pretty good sized blocks. You can't see them. Like, I was standing on about the blocks that I have the weight on now. So this is like a below the knee off blocks. I was standing on the blocks for the deficit deadlift though. And I'm not sure exactly. I know in general the thought process behind doing partial ranges of motion, but my lats have been pretty sick. They've been really sore in this. I gave a little island salute there to Island Barbell. We met her at the Guam Liberation Festival. My wife's family is actually from Guam, so we go to the festival every year, and they usually do some in honor of her grandmother because she was one of the war children. So there was a period of time when Japan actually invaded Guam, and I mean it was pretty bad. The islands were the tribes, the villages in the island were pretty devastated by that. So they were able to gain independence, and that's when Guam became a U.S. territory. Actually, I'm not sure if it was a U.S. territory before that or not, but that's just kind of an interesting tidbit of that. I've been doing a lot of bench press, as you would see on the Sheiko programs. This is my cat. He was...
The camera. Say hi to the camera.
I don't know if the volume's on there or not, but he was so whiny that day. You ungrateful thing. You ungrateful thing. And he keeps talking to me throughout this whole video.
Say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera.
He's like, what are you doing? Leave me alone. He wanted me to let him outside, but sometimes I will kind of let them out for a little bit, but I try not to let them out a lot. Especially I have a black and white cat named Jasper, and Jasper will attack the mailman. So Jasper's actually been maced by the mailman for getting out. I think these are... Oh, they're only to the knees. So you're able to do a greater workload when you're doing things throughout a partial range of motion. And I think that's kind of the idea of some of this. But anyway, so that's really about it. I'll continue going through that. I kind of wanted to show you guys the app. I wanted to show you some of the things that I had been doing and how training was going. If you have any video requests or anything that you would like to see done, then please feel free to post that in the description box below, and I will get back with you. One last thing on the chest muscles, when you see that, the incline bench, when you see that in there, I've been doing overhead press in that place because I don't really have an incline bench at my house. And so you have to put in a number when you do this. I'm not sure why. I think I did before, but it must not have saved it. So these day 4 bench press will always be some kind of variation. It will be something other than the competition bench. So you spend a lot of time, day 1, 2, 3 is almost always competition bench on Sheiko, and then this day 4 will be some kind of variation. I think like last week was medium grip bench press, so you took a little bit more narrow grip. This one, I'm doing overhead press for it, and the app will save whatever numbers you plug in there, and then it will increase that by like 1 or 2 kilos per week, and just to give you more weight. I think if you do it by pounds, maybe it'll go up by like 5 pounds every week or every other week or something like that. I'm not sure, but that's kind of how that works. So you can set the app to go by pounds or kilos. I have kilo plates at my house, so that's why I do that. But you guys take it easy, and I will talk to you in a video coming very soon.